Hey, this is your girl Forever Trina back at you with my first video of the year. By the way, Happy New Year. Yes, it is 3 weeks into the new year, and I am still saying Happy New Year only because I'm just starting things up. So, my thing for this year will be consistency. So, this will not just be my first video of the year. Well, actually, it's still gonna be my first video of the year, but there are many more to come. I plan to, I will, not plan, but I will post a weekly video. I'll do my channel a little bit differently. So I'll start doing reviews specifically for Married at First Sight. It's a show that I absolutely love. I've been watching it since season 1 when it was Jamie and Doug. Jamie walking down the aisle. Doug is standing at the end of the aisle. She ain't feeling Doug. She was really stank towards him pretty much the whole season, but at the end of the 8 weeks they stayed together. They've been married now 7+ years, and they have 2 kids. So that is one success story. There's not a lot of success stories, but it's enough. It's probably a handful. I can count on one hand, honestly, how successful they are. But still love the show. I do believe it's turned into more of ratings than actually about love. I think in the beginning, it was an experiment. I don't know why I can't say this word. It was an experiment to see if if you're matched based on certain criteria of things that truly what you're made of, it should work. There's particular or different nationalities who do arranged marriages and they work. So why not try this? And so that's what the show is all about. Again, love it. So that's why I'll start doing my reviews, and that's where I'm going to begin my consistency journey. So I hope that you will be along for it. And let's get into the reviews. So let's get it. Let's go. All right. So before we get into it, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All right. So this is season 14, episode 3 of Married at First Sight. This episode is called Beantown Wedding Throwdown. So just so you know, my notes are below. So as I looking up and looking down, it's because I'm looking at my notes. I need my notes to stay on track, so I won't ramble. You're welcome. All right, so the wedding kicks off. There's 2 weddings left, and so the episode kicks off with the last 2 weddings. The first wedding is Steve and Noy. She walks down the aisle. She's all smiles. You see Steve at the end of the aisle. He's all smiles, so it seems like they like what they see. As Noy's dad approaches the front, approaches Steve at the front with Noy. Steve kind of leans in to take Noy. Daddy was kind of like, no, we're not at that part of the ceremony yet. Hold your horses, young man. This is still my daughter. You'll have your chance. So that was a little funny when he did that. So once Noy and Steve were standing there, Noy was like, so what is your name? He was like, Steve. She said, so what is your last name? His last name is Moy. She said, okay. She said, kind of rhymes with my first name. Noy, Moy. So that was interesting. We'll see how that goes. If she decides to change her last name, that will be a thing. But anyway, she read her vows. She teared up. It was cute to see. Like, her heart was really into it. Like in previous episodes, they had mentioned how she, the song, I'll travel the ocean for you. Yeah, I can't sing, but the lyrics, I'll travel the ocean for you. She literally traveled the ocean to meet a guy, someone she met online, almost like 90 Day Fiance. Clearly didn't work out because now she's on the show. So it seems like she was really into it. She was really into her vows. So it was good to see. Like, she kind of teared up. It was really an emotional moment for her, which I totally can understand. I can definitely connect with that. When I read my vows at my wedding, choked up a little bit. Ain't no tears dropped, but it was definitely something. It's a big thing. So it was cute to see that. Steve, at the end of I don't know if it was at the end of the reading their vows, but he mentioned, hey, I think after they exchanged rings, he was like, I actually have an extra ring. He was like, I wasn't sure if you were gonna like this ring, so I wanted to get you something else. So he digs into his pocket and he pulls out a ring pop. And I thought that was really cute. It just showed his personality, it showed his humor, and I really did like that. But definitely like them as a couple so far. Don't know a lot. So far, I like them. So the next scene with them is when they take pictures. They look super comfortable. I really like Noi. Their pictures were cute. She looked natural. Again, she looked comfortable. They take the pictures with the family and friends. So there was one friend of Steve's. He has like orange hair, and he just stood out. It would be nice if he would have just tied his hair down a little bit, maybe put a little side ponytail or a little braid or something where it just wasn't like out there. That's the only really thing I have about the pictures. But other than that, they look great. They also pulled in some culture. I love when they pull culture in the weddings. Last season, it was with Johnny and Bao. They had the regular ceremony, and then they had a separate ceremony with their specific culture's attire, and it was really, really cool. They didn't make it, but the wedding was really beautiful though. So Noi, she changed into a wedding attire for the female, and then she asked if Steve could also do that as well, and so she handed him something, and he obliged. So that was really nice. I think the next scene was when they were dancing. It was cute. It was a little awkward. When I say awkward, it's not awkward in the sense of they have no rhythm. So that's really what it was. It was when you're watching Married at First Sight and when they're dancing, you can't hear the music. You can't hear a beat. But if there was a beat to be on, they weren't on it. And so I think that's what made it so awkward looking. They seemed comfortable together, but just not comfortable. And they looked a little awkward dancing. So it was just like, okay, it's time to go sit down. So they went to sit down. And of course, they're going to have their initial conversations like, hey, what do you do? So here's Steve's opportunity to tell, Noi what he does, which in previous episodes, he doesn't have a job. So he needs to kind of explain what that's all about. But basically, just to give a little background, if you didn't watch the previous episodes, he was laid off. So after he was laid off, he went to travel for 4 months, and he just still hasn't found a job. And I want to say, because it seems like he had a career, so it doesn't seem like he can't get a job. It just seems like he has not gotten back on board to look for a job. But I think this is the perfect opportunity for him to jump on that, get a job boat. So hopefully he jumps on that really quickly. So he's explaining it to Noi. Noi was just like, okay, she leaning in like, what's your plan? What's your next move? But she did say in her confessional, she feels comfortable that he seems like someone who's responsible and that he will, he has a plan. He just hasn't fully expressed that to her, and that he will, eventually get a job. And honestly, I do feel that because he had a career, I don't think he can't not get a job. He just ain't looking. It don't seem like it. So hopefully by the end of the 8 weeks, he has a job. Right now, he got room and board, so he probably just coasting. But yeah, that's definitely going to be a conversation that's going to come up. Like, if 8 weeks he ain't got a job, what's going on, bro? Let's sit down and kind of put pen to paper and see what we doing here. So that was their conversation during the reception. The next scene with them was the wedding night. I like the wedding nights when the guys carry the female over the threshold. All the men seem to struggle with this. It's not like the females there's no one who's like extremely heavy or anything like that. And the men seem pretty strong. They can handle their own. But Steve seemed like the only one who just kind of pulled his bride up, just kind of flipped her up and just, walked in. With the other one seemed like they had to put a little elbow, they had to use all that, upper body strength to pick their brides up. So it was cute that he was just able to just pick her up like a little rag doll. So that was kind of cute. And she got ready for bed. She took her contacts out. She put her glasses on. She said, I am too tired to be self-conscious. I was like, Noi, I'm here for you. I like you. So I really like Noi. She's one of my favorites. So that was that was Noi and Steve. The next couple is Alyssa and Chris to get married. I will proceed this discussion of Alyssa and Chris with I don't like her. There are a lot of reasons I don't like her. You about to figure I don't like her. So Alyssa and Chris, again, not really feeling Alyssa. She screams picky, entitled, stuck up, biatch, Karen, Republican, all those adjectives screams it. That's what she's giving me. A lot of things she kept saying, which was kind of annoying because if you're going to be on this show, you can't be but so picky. They ask you what you want. Makes sense. But everything that you list should not be about the physical features. And that's what she kept saying. I hope he's hot. I hope he's this. I hope he's that. It's like, well, can you say, I hope he has a job? I hope he has a good personality. I hope he's kind. There's just other things that I feel she could have focused on, but it just seemed like she just kept driving in on those looks. And it could be editing. I will give her that, where the producers could have been asking her those questions and then she was answering them, and then the way they strung things together, it appeared that that's all she wanted. But honestly, I don't think it's too far from who she really is. She pretty much most likely was just like all about the looks. It's even when she was with her girls, when they first came in the room, before she started getting dressed, it was like 1, 2, 3, hope he's hot, or something like that. So she's still all about the looks. So that bothers me about her. She was the first bride to get a gift. In past seasons, the groom and the brides, they exchange gifts. They provide their bride-to-be, their groom-to-be with a gift. This season, none of them did that. So that was kind of like, producers, did y'all forget to tell them to do that? But anyway, he provided her with a gift or a note or something like that. But anyway, her one of her girls, she read the note. She's crying. It's, it's okay. I just have no sympathy for her. So I'm just like, she cried, she had tears. Usually I'd be like, oh, that's so sweet. But I'm just kind of looking at her like, I'm looking at her sideways. But yeah, the female to me most undeserving of a gift or a note or anything special was her, and she got it. So whatever with that. Another thing about her, I will say her dress was beautiful. It was beautiful on her. Her dress shopping was annoying. And I say this because she brought 10, or she bought. She brought 10 dresses with her to go wedding dress shopping. So you purchased 10 dresses to go shopping for your 11th dress. So none of those 10 work for you. Not one of them work for you. So number 11 is going to be it for you. So again, extremely picky, extremely particular. If you're going to be that particular and you're going to be that picky, you don't need to be on this show. You got 3 people choosing a life mate for you. That is big. And so you're putting that choice into someone else's hands, and you, again, she ain't the one for the show. Personality she's a no for me. She's just all the way. She's just a no. Again, I liked her dress. It was really nice. It reminded me like when all the girls were wedding dress shopping. It reminded me of when I went wedding dress shopping. And it's just amazing how all the dresses are beautiful. I can look at another bride and be like, oh, your dress is so cute. But that dress on me, it may not look the same. It probably won't look the same. Only because I feel that wedding dresses fit that bride. It fits their personality. It fits their personality. It fits who they are. And just like I felt my dress was the one for me. Like when I went dress shopping, my girls, it was one I tried on. It was like, yo, that's the dress right there. I love it. I love it. I started crying because I was like, I don't like it. And they were just like, okay, Jenna, chill out. Just get the dress you like. And so I got the dress I love. I loved it. It was a ballroom type style dress, and it was a dress just for me. It had pockets. Love me some pockets. And so I think I just feel that about wedding dresses. It's usually made just for that bride. When you just know it when you put it on, you're just like, this is it. Like I felt like Princess Tiara from Princess and the Frog. And I ain't never watched that movie, but I know what she looked like, and it was really cute, and that's how I felt. So again, she had a beautiful dress. It was time for her to walk down the aisle. She walked down the aisle. Chris, I keep calling him Steve. Chris was all smiles. I don't think she really had too much emotion on her face. She gets to the front of the aisle, and Chris is like, oh, beautiful dress. And she's like, did you see the shoes? I was just like, so you're not gonna say thank you? Like, your first thought was to say, do you see the shoes? So again, more reasons, this is not making this up, of why I do not like her. She's just rude. One thing that she did mention when they were asking her, I don't know if they asked her what she wanted or she was just expressing what she wanted. She was just like, yeah, he needs to have really nice teeth, which a lot of females and men, they're just like, they're teeth people. totally get it. I guess in my opinion, I'm just like, well, as long as there's dentists and orthodontists out there, we can get your teeth fixed. But that was a big thing for her. She was like, I hope he's not snag a tooth. If he's snag a tooth, then I'm gonna be looking at him in the audience like, is there a dentist in the room? Is there a dentist in the room? And so in my head, I'm just like, is there a dentist in the room? Because his teeth were not the best. He may need a little bit of work, but again, there's dentists. He has a job. I'm sure he has insurance. He can get that taken care of. So I'm definitely almost positive he didn't pass the teeth test for her. But anyway, they said their vows, and then at the end, it surprised me. She allowed him to kiss her, which is most brides. I don't say most brides, but a lot of brides on the show, they put that cheek out there, but she gave him the lips. I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked. So they walk down the aisle. Everybody's cheering. And one thing I noticed about her, she wasn't smiling. Most of the time when you're walking out of the church, down the aisle after you said your I do's, everyone's yay, happy for you. You know, usually you're smiling. She's not smiling. I'm like, just act like you happy. Like she act like she doesn't want to be there, which she probably doesn't. But again, you know, just don't be on the show. That will cure everything. Everything that I'm talking about right now, it would be cured if you just wasn't on the show. But you put yourself in this, so at least play the part. So at this point, all the couples were married. Chris and Alyssa, they go to take pictures. Again, another moment of, dang, Alyssa, why are you here? So this was awkward because the photographer was literally like, hey, put your head on his chest. I don't do that. That's not something I would do. Okay. So it was just everything about her was just, I don't do this. This is not what I do. Then why are you on the show? There's a lot of things they're going to ask you to do. Most people wouldn't do this show, but you do. You don't lay your head on somebody's chest, but you do a show where you married at first sight. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. She's complaining. She's negative. I don't really like negative energy. I don't like negativity. Yeah, she is a no for me. I know that photographer was like, yo, because like photographers, they know they have to do a bit of coaching to get, you know, people into a certain, you know, place where they can take a particular picture. But to do that much, to, you know, have to pull that much out of someone, I know it's annoying. I know photographers is like, yo, I'm glad y'all paying me for this and y'all paying me good money too, hopefully. But anyway, next scene for them was at the reception. I think Steve mentioned how affectionate he was. Alyssa's like, yeah, that's not usually me. Then they start clanking the glasses. And Alyssa's like, what's that? And she's like, oh, I don't succumb to peer pressure. So, of course, they did not kiss. Just, again, I don't like her. Next scene, Chris is with the mom. Chris is, he's digging for compliments. So he's just like, did she say anything nice about me? Chris, no, she didn't. Has she said anything nice yet? Did she say thank you when you said you liked her dress? No, she still ain't saying nothing nice. So the mama's sitting there like, well, I mean, I said I liked you, and she said I like him too. In my head, I'm like, Mama, she ain't say that. You lied. I know you ain't want to hurt his feelings. You ain't rude like your daughter, but yeah, Mama, you lied. So that was kind of funny. Like she had to pull that out her to give him something, because he is hopeful. The next scene is with Alyssa and his guys, which I wasn't really feeling them either. But one of the questions they asked her was, so what did you like about him, or what did you think when you were walking down the aisle? And she was like, she pulled a mama. He has a kind vibe. What does that mean? You got a kind vibe. You felt his vibes from walking down the aisle. You felt that he had it. I'm so confused by that. But anyway, that's what she pulled out of her. Very interesting. Then his friends proceeded to, you know, talk to her about some things about, you know, Chris's personality. But they said a lot of negative things. They didn't say anything positive. If my girls are going to talk to my guy about me, I need them to be pulling all the stops out. I need you to be making me look like, yes, this is the one for you. This is a chick. And then also read the room. She already said he had a kind vibe, so you already know she ain't really feeling him. So, okay, let's say some things to get her on board. Like, yeah, this is really a good dude. But they were saying things like, yeah, he could be like a little condescending. He don't mean it though, but he can be a little condescending when he's talking to you. It's just because he's a teacher and he's trying to teach people. I was just like, I'm gonna need y'all come a little stronger. I'm like, Chris, either you need to get new friends or coach them just a little bit better about how to, kind of pump you up, because they was not doing that at all. Next scene, Chris and Alyssa's girls. Chris, he's still fishing for compliments. Did she say anything nice about me? No, Chris, she did not. And I can't even remember what the girl said. I probably just rolled my eyes and started laughing at that point. But I don't think they probably said anything really positive, or they might have made something up. Who knows? But either way, yeah, no. So that is them at the end of their night. It's like Alyssa keeps getting worse and worse. At the end of their night, you see that Chris is sitting on a bench or something outside in the hallway, wherever they were. And then Alyssa is in a room, I don't know what room it is, with talking to a producer. And she's saying things like, I don't feel comfortable. I've heard some things that don't sit well with me. And I don't want to have to lay beside him tonight or something like that. So she was like, I just don't know what to do. So the producer was just like, yeah, you probably need to go tell him that. So then she goes out in the hall. She's like, first, I would like to let you know that I apologize for having you sit here and wait. Thanks for apologizing, Alyssa. That was very classy of you. And then she was just like, it was just some things that I heard, and it just don't sit comfortable, and it's just, they don't sit well with me. He was like, okay. He was like, well, would you like to talk about it? Do you have any questions for me? Is there any way I can make you feel more comfortable? So I will say, I love the way that Steve did that. Like, that was really classy. He could have been like, what? He could have really got an attitude or really got in his feelings, but he was kind in that moment. So maybe she did feel his kind vibe walking down the aisle. He was really like open and understanding. Like it's like he's really here for this process. He's just like, I understand. We don't know each other. You just met me. I may or may not be your type. I get that. But I still want to work, I want to see if we could work this out and work through it. And so her response was, no, it's been a long day. I think we should just go to sleep. And then she proceeded to walk off. She didn't say bye. She didn't say nice to meet you. She didn't say I'll talk to you later. She just walked off, said nothing. I was like, this is why I don't like you. This right here, you're not making it any better for yourself. I don't like you, and this is why. Just rude. And then just like right after that scene, Pastor Cal pops on, and he's just like, this is why we match them. Alyssa is so fun-loving. She's a fun-loving individual that will even out Chris's serious demeanor. I was just like, Pastor Cal, fun-loving? Who are you watching? Are you watching the same person we're watching? Alyssa? She's neither fun nor loving. Put them together in the same sentence, no, that's not who she is. So I was just like, yo, okay, these are our experts that we're working with. So that's the end of the night for them. Moving on to the next couple. We have Katina and Olajuwon. So again, they're already married. They're taking pictures. Olajuwon is talking so much. He is talking and talking and talking. I don't know if it's just nervous energy or what, or maybe it's the way the producers, they have a habit of stringing things together a certain way to make it appear that way. But it just, he was chatty Cathy when they was taking pictures. But the pictures were really nice. Katina is gorgeous. I didn't really look at him too much. I just noticed the talking. And also that he was truly smitten by Katina. Like, her beauty just like took over, and he was all smiles. And that was cute. It was just like, okay, that's really cute, Olajuwon. One picture he picked, the photographer, I think she was done. She's like, all right, good, it's a wrap. He's like, no, I got this. Let me pick her up. And so he picked her up, and they took a picture with him holding her. And that was cute. So I do like that different pose. But they do seem very comfortable together. So that's really cool. They seem to both be vibing and have some type of chemistry. So that's always good. I feel she may like him. I think he, like I said again, he's like truly, truly smitten. I don't know, she has a chill demeanor. She did mention like, she's attracted to him, but I just haven't seen that overly excitement from her. But that may just be her personality. So they went to the reception. They proceeded to talk about different topics. And so she mentioned kids. Do you want kids? He was like, yeah, in the future. She was like, oh, great. Yeah, I want them in 2 to 3 years. And then the next scene was like, she was in the confessional and she was just like, oh, everything is just like, so it's just really connecting. He wants kids like I do in 2 to 3 years. And, he wants to travel like I do as well. I was like, Katina, he didn't say 2 to 3 years. He said in the future. And when he said in the future, he hesitated with it. You have got to listen. We have females. We have we hear what we want to hear. We hear one word that a man may say and we run with that. He ain't say that. He said in the future. So just from the hesitation of him just saying in the future, I don't think he's down for kids in 2 to 3 years. But that's just my take on it. She really did not hear that. She didn't take that away from the conversation. But anyway, she ran with that one. I think that's it. Yeah, in Olajuwon's confessional, because I think one of the questions was like, "Can you cook?" And she was like, "I mean, I don't be cooking like stuff that's crazy or whatever, but I cook. I can cook something." And he was like, "Well, as long as it's edible." And then his confession, he was like, "Well, she can't cook. That's something we're gonna have to work on really soon." And in my head, I'm just like, I hate dudes to be like, oh, she need to be able to cook. What's wrong with your fingers? What's wrong with your hands? Like, if you want a home cooked meal every time you come home, you can get in the kitchen too. This is not back in the day where the female's home all day waiting for you to come home to cook dinner for you. Now, there are households that they do that. That is fine. But every household is run differently, and you can't dictate how you want your household run by the way your grandmother might have done it. Your grandmother was probably home all day, so that's what she did. That was her role. So I think it is a conversation that each couple should have about what our gender roles are going to be. To automatically have the assumption that my wife is going to come home and cook for me, or I'm going to have a home cooked meal every day. That's a conversation you need to have with her. It's also a conversation of, is that what you want me to do? Are you the sole breadwinner? Are you coming up in this house with the bread? Like, I ain't got the work. Like, to me, those are conversations. And so just for him to have that, this is what needs to happen. One of his statements he made before was, oh, she don't cook, she ain't a bride. And I was just like, or not a bride, she's not a wife. I was like, I guess I ain't a wife. Because I ain't cooking when we was dating. And, they ain't never cook now. I cook, but it's not like, like you would the traditional wifely duty. Again, we do a lot of things 50-50 partnership in our household. But that's what we decided to do. So just my little spill about Olajuwon. Next scene, Katina's with the boys, talking to them. I'm not really feeling the brother. The brother has made a couple of statements that I'm really not on board with. The one statement before they got married was just like, before, I don't know if he was too keen on this process, but he was like, yeah, before I got married, I wasn't looking for a wife. I was looking, for a good night. And it just kind of happened like that. And I'm like, okay, you're not really saying anything enlightening or encouraging at this moment. So could have kept that to yourself. And then one statement he made to Katina at the wedding or the reception was, yeah, Olajuwon is that dude. He likes to like mold the female into what he wants her to be. I said, does that even sound right? Like, did you hear the words that you actually spoke out of your mouth? What female wants to be molded into what the man wants her to be? I don't. Maybe that's just me. Katina don't seem like that type, but anyway, I just every time he spoke, I was just like, it's okay just not to speak, sir. Like, just be quiet. So that's just the vibe that I got from the brother. The next scene was Olajuwon and the mama, and this was kind of funny. They got on the topic of ADHD. I'm not sure why or how that came up, but then the mama, her next question was, so you on medicine? And so I'm not sure how Olajuwon answered that or responded to it. I think he just said he's managing it. So I was like, okay, but I can see him having ADHD. It was on one of the shows, they have like an after show. He just kept, people have those nervous tics. And so he just kept tapping his leg, just kept tapping his leg, tapping. I mean, he just wouldn't stop, kind of like he won't stop talking. He wouldn't stop tapping his leg. And I was just like, what is wrong with you? So I can see him. I can see that. But again, he said he was managing it. And then he started talking. He was like, yeah, I really, I like Katrina and da-da-da-da-da. And mama said her name is Katina. He was like, oh. And I'm just like, bruh, get get her name right. Mama was like, no, her name is Katina. Mama already seemed like she was not there for it. She was just like, I'm only over here speaking to you because the producer told me to come speak to you. And I don't know you. I really don't want to know you. And here we are. So let's go ahead and get this show on the road. And the producer probably said, give him a hard time. And she ain't had no trouble doing that. So at some point, the mama was just like, is that a rabbit? And Elijah Wan like, where? And then the mama left. So I really feel that there was some editing in there, because there's no way the mama could have been that rude for one, to be like, is that a rabbit? And for him to look and her to be gone. There had, and then they just, at the end, just, you see him sitting there sipping champagne or whatever he had in his glass. And so, hilarious. Again, I really think that there was some editing in that, because I blinked and she was gone. I was just like, did she really do that? But she did that. Unless it was editing, which I'm gonna bank on editing, because that was rude. But the other thing there was just like, why are you gonna play on that ADHD? Because ADHD, it is a real thing. So I'm just like, producers, y'all didn't have to make that a thing, and then even always make fun of it. So it was really messy, but it was funny. I ain't gonna lie about that. So they went to the next scene where it's him taking the garter off of Katina. What you see there mostly is him doing a strip show for her. Took the shirt off. He got to show his chest, and I will say his chest is nice. He's tatted all the way up, very nice. But after the third, fourth, and fifth time taking off his shirt, it's just like, okay, we seen it. It's nice. Kudos to you. You in the gym, but it's getting old. So he's grinding on her. Mama's in the background like, I feel it was in poor taste, but this is Elijah Wan, so we'll go with it. So there was a confessional, and Elijah Wan is just like, I just feel loyalty in her lips. They're just so soft and so juicy. I was just like, how do you feel loyalty in her lips? Like, let me know, how does that happen? Like, yeah, I didn't know that was a thing, but apparently it is. So that was the end of their thing. Oh, the end of the night. So they proceed to the hotel. Katina's taking off her makeup. She's wrapping up her wig. I ain't see no satin cap go on her head, but that's just an observation. Elijah Wan is jumping on the bed with his boxers on, shirt off, of course. And this is something I did not notice, but I saw it in other people's reviews, which made me, of course, go back and look. They were just like, Elijah Wan had dirty drawers. They said he had a little stain on his drawers. I said, And then it's like, you gonna wear no clean drawers to your wedding? Those your favorite drawers? So it was just one thing that was pointed out. I didn't see it. I had to actually go back to even knew it was there, but it was a lot of people who noticed that one, but that was kind of funny. But anyway, that was the end of the night for them. I hope they make it. Elijah Wan doesn't scream ready for me. Katina, just their personalities, like, because Elijah Wan, he is like, he's a self-proclaimed player. He said, his tagline is Mr. X Player. And so she expressed how she was cheating on. Like, I really feel that she's dated an Elijah Wan. And to put them together, it's just like, this is almost a recipe for disaster. So I really hope that it's not like that, because I know Woody and Imani, so they were in the New Orleans season, and when they were doing like the pre-wedding stuff, where they're showing the different people that are about to be matched, they showed Woody, and he was like, party, and I'm like, this dude is not ready. And so I wasn't too keen on him. I was just like, you're not ready. But he was ready. As soon as he met his wife, he went into full hubby mode. Like, he was husband to the 10th power. Like, I mean, it totally shocked me how his personality, it seemed to change just like that. So it was like he went, now he still likes, I don't want to say party, but he still likes to do stuff, go out. He's still a flashy guy, but he wants his bride with him. And I love it. I love it, love it, love it. So maybe that's what Elijah will turn into be. I don't think so though. I just honestly, I don't feel it. So next couple, we have Lindsay and Mark. I don't have a lot on them. Of course, they were already married. I honestly, in my notes, only have Lindsay ... probably because she's just a lot. And so I probably didn't have too much more to say about her. And then for Mark, I got Mark eyes ... He just got really, his eyes are nice. He has nice blue eyes, but they're just like super big. They're just like, he talks and they're just, and it's just so, it's so funny. But he seems like a really good dad. There was a scene where he was talking to the dad and the brother, and he was talking about how he didn't have any siblings, how he didn't have a dad, and now that he has a dad. And he also said he wanted to, do something a little bit traditional, even though this was very untraditional, but he wanted to ask for Lindsay's hand in marriage. So I thought that was really nice and sweet. I'm sure the daddy was like, you're already married to her. Yeah, go ahead and take her. But he went along with it, and they hugged. It seemed like a little awkward hug, but they hugged, and that was really nice. He just seems like a really nice guy. Seems like a big teddy bear, just wants to be loved. He went through the first round, like when they were in Boston the first time. He went through that and didn't make it. So this is like his second chance at love. And so I really hope they do well together. Lindsay, again, she's a lot. And she said it. She mentioned, she's like, I have that personality that you either like it or you don't. You take it or you leave it. And so I hope that Mark doesn't leave it. So he did say, he mentioned things like, I want to see that loving side of her. He feels like there's layers, because sometimes a tough exterior, it's really all about self-protection. That's really, you've gone through different things in your life, and now it's all about protecting yourself. So hopefully maybe Mark can allow her to feel vulnerable and feel safe. And so some of those layers will come down, and some of that high energy and that, that so much, that toughness and that just wanting to talk all the time and just being really aggressive kind of scales back a little bit. Hopefully they can even each other out. Like Marky seems like he has a lot of personality, but honestly with her, his dies way down, because you can't have two people on high like that. So he probably like, yo, I got to be chill. So he's taking away from her. She's taking away from his personality. But hey, I hope they work out again. More so for Mark's sake. The next and last couple is Jasmina and Michael. So they're at the reception. I'm not sure how impressed she is with him. He is very impressed with her. When she walked down the aisle, he was like, wow. Wow. It was so cute. But she's absolutely gorgeous, absolutely stunning. She's deserving of all those wows. Michael, go ahead and put another wow up in there, because yeah, she deserves that one. So that was really, I like to see that from him. They proceed at the reception to talk about his work schedule. I think she asked him about that, and he was like, yeah, I'm usually leaving the house about 4:30. I get back around 7:30 in the evening, work on the weekend sometimes. She was just like, huh. I was like, bruh, you might have to get that work schedule under wraps, because that is not conducive to a new bride, a wife, nobody. So he's definitely gonna have to get that one together. That's gonna be definitely a conversation sooner than later. Next scene, Jasmina meets with his sisters. It was really sweet. Michael's mom passed away of breast cancer. So prior to them getting married, when they're in the room, Michael's brother presented him with a breast cancer pin to pin onto his tux. So he wore that at the wedding. And so the sisters, they proceeded to present Jasmina with the same pin, and saying that their mom is here watching over them. And now that she's a part of the family, she is now watching over her. So it was really sweet. I was just like, oh my God, sisters. Y'all are bringing tears in my eyes. Like, those sisters are so for their brother, and they're so for this process. Jasmina, don't mess it up, because them sisters, they don't seem like they play. They seem like they the ones they hide the body. So I really hope it works out, if nothing else, for Jasmina's sake. Michael's personality, and he said it. He said, I don't share my feelings a lot. He tends to close down. He's not vulnerable. I don't know how well that will do for Jasmina. I have met guys with those types of personalities, and they're not easy to deal with. So you definitely have to be committed. And I know that within 8 weeks, that's not going to change. So I think at any hint of a problem, any type of disagreement, a difference of opinion, that he probably will shut down, and that's going to be a conversation. So hopefully they can overcome that. That's just really, really the biggest red flag I see so far. Like her tagline is Mrs. No Nonsense, so I could really see her, and she's kind of shown some of that in some of their interaction together. So right now it's cute. We'll see where that goes. But in one of the previews, she's showing Mrs. No Nonsense is coming out. She's just like, you're not going to talk to me anyway, and this is not what I signed up for. So she coming with it. So we'll see again what comes of them. I really hope it works out more so for Michael's sisters. That's really for Michael's sisters. So that was the scene with the sisters in the pen. Michael also met with the mother and the stepdad. Love the mother. She's so sweet. That backstory is Jasmina's biological mom and dad got a divorce. Jasmina's biological dad remarried, and then they got a divorce. Daddy went to Jamaica, and then the stepmom actually took Jasmina in as her own. And so you could just see that love and care and concern and compassion for just Jasmina. I think she's seen her go through that, people leaving, that abandonment and things like that. So I know she really wants the best for her. And so you could just see that connection that they have, which is in that love that she has for Jasmina, as if she is her own child. So I'm so there for that. So I love her mom. Wedding night, Jasmina, of course, getting ready for bed. Love their sense of humor. Michael handed her a rose that I guess was on the side of the bed or something like that. And then Jasmina proceeded to pick up a rose that was on her side of the bed and was like, well, here. So that was super. That was really cute. And then the last thing that really makes me team Jasmina is she put a bonnet on her head. She wrapped her little head up, had a little bonnet. I said, yes, Jasmina, I am here for you all day long. So yes, I am team. I was team Jasmina from the beginning. I continue to be. I really hope things play out really well for them before they ended the show or ended the night. Jasmina was like, you want to cuddle? And Michael was just like, yeah, I want to cuddle. Because that's why I got married, so I can cuddle. So that was super cute. So team cuddle. I'm so for it. Love it, love it, love it. And that's it. So thank you so much for listening to my review. I will be back next week for episode 4. And until then,